Hi everybody, it's Fiona Hooper here again, and I'm back with another edition of the Poetry of Painting. So yeah, it's been a really fast week because lots has been going on, which I shall tell you a little bit more about. For example, last Saturday, it was a really exciting day. It was our first day back at Kingston upon Thames after nearly 18 months of enforced cancellation of our shows there. And it was really great to be not just doing something normal, but after all these long months of restrictions, actually showing our work and talking with visitors. And the icing on the cake was I actually sold some paintings as well, which was just fantastic. The rain held off for most of the day, which was amazing, with only a couple of heavy showers, and threatened a lot more of the time, but we did quite well with the weather, so that was good. So this week I'm welcoming back Martin Goldie all the way from Scotland. So let me just bring Martin in. Martin, hi, welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good, thank you, Fiona.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Been writing lots of poetry and keeping busy?
I've been keeping busy. Can't discuss everything I've been writing, but keeping busy, yes, thanks.
Yeah, so some surprise poems for somebody, I guess.
Yes.
In that case, we're not allowed to
That's
talk
right.
about, obviously. Good. Oh, excellent. So, the painting that we're going to talk about this evening, the painting that's been poemed, a new word there, is called Rugged Sentinels, and it's of some very dramatic coastline. It's painted in oils on silver leaf on a 60 by 60 centimetres canvas, and it's the one up behind me in the middle there, reflecting the light on the silver leaf, which has got a glaze of colour over it for the sea and the sky, but it just, the light still shines through on it. And well, as you know by now, I think I'm quite addicted to gold leaf and now silver leaf as well, it seems. So yeah, it's really fun to use, and I just love the effects of it. So there we go. So Martin, you didn't know anything about this painting before you wrote a poem on it, which I'm just put the painting on the screen as well for people to see. So would you like to read your poem, which is based on the inspiration from the painting?
Absolutely, Fiona. Rugged sentinels. Below the palest crescent moon, which shared a hazy sky with fall's full broiling sun, I lie stretched out on warm cropped grass, like a swollen lion asleep content below a blazing Kenyan sun. Beguiled I lie on this rarest of days, on this harshest of lands, among green fading pastures, cooled by autumn's placid breezes, upon a checkered rug of raucous gold and amber grasses, burning in that wondrous sun, a fiery palette reflected in my glowing face, and among the scorched yellow whispered grasses, I smell the pungent scent of briny air, blown to land on this rarest North Atlantic breeze. And from my earthy golden height, in silence undisturbed, distrait I gaze west to endless dreamy blue beyond, dark sun-starved cliffs and ancient rugged sentinels, rising from the calm viridian waters in which their weathered granite form is mirrored, pointing in their stance an accusatory finger to that hazy sapphire sky above me. And far below, benign waves splash mutely on dark rugged rocks, and in blue skies gannets stare, and like an arrow fired, dive from high to pierce the cold blue shimmering sea. Before the coming winter storms swallow autumn's burning sun, and livid winds taunt and numb the veined cliffs' vacant ledges, when gentle puffins, vibrant beaks are dulled, and fattened from their summer feast, they ready for their winter absence. Then my work is done. Then I can winter dry, safe within my turf-roofed smoky black house. But when at last fair spring returns from winter's long dark haly nights, and kinder winds are blown upon the cliffs and stacks of Kilda, if spared my last departure, I will stand again upon that tawny height, and like the rugged sentinels before me, wonder at skies filled with flocks of screeching nesting birds, joyous in their frenzied exhibition of recreational flying. And at this sight, my simple life's grand purpose, my reason now for being, to rally young men of Hirta, and as I once did, in the distant mist of long missed years, scale the soaring cliffs of Connachare and risk all to harvest life-sustaining eggs and fulmar.
Wow.
That's it, Fiona.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
It just so paints a fantastic picture, quite apart from my painting, you're just painting that with words. It's amazing. And so I'm just going to take a moment to say, hi, Chris. Thanks for being with us again. Really lovely to have you here. And Anne says hi to both of us, Martin. So it's lovely. Great to have you on board, Anne. Really pleased that you can join us. So, and I'm sure that you must have really enjoyed Martin's poem. I think that was absolutely fantastic. I love the colour that you get into there, and the descriptive quality of it is just amazing. Love it. Thank you so much, Martin. It's I think.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Not sure if I want to read mine now.
I'm sure it'll be great.
Well, it's a bit shorter than yours, but okay. Well, I'll go for mine, and then we can talk about them afterwards. So, okay. So, not surprisingly, it's called Rugged Sentinels. So majestically they rise above the waves, imposing and implacable, old as time itself, resisting the salty spray and water's power. These rugged sentinels keep their watch. Dark walls dissected by ancient fissures, punctuated by splashes of gold and green, where life has taken root in shallow clefts, eking out its precarious existence. Towering over the shimmering silvery sea, their crests provide the perfect vantage point. They gaze out across the sun-specked waves, witnessing all, yet seeing nothing. On calm, tranquil days, caressed by the sun, rocky facets illuminated and defined, these unyielding bastions stand their ground to remain unchanged to eternity and beyond. In man's short span, these cliffs seem timeless, but the solitary stacks that once were joined now stand as evidence of their slow retreat, inevitable, inexorable, with imperceptible speed. Measured in eons, this change will continue, but for now they endure, lofty and proud, crowned by nature's rich, glowing mantle, shielding the land from the force of the sea. So that's my one.
That's fantastic.
I don't know. I think I like yours better.
Well, I don't know. I thought that was fantastic.
Thank you.
It has a great feel of the cliffs and the sort of the weathering by the wind and the sea.
Yeah, I think we've both got a lot of elements of the weather coming into them, haven't we, as well?
Yeah, that's right.
What they sort of put up with. It's depicts a lovely sunny, calm day at the moment, but it can be quite different. And
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
A rare day.
Yes, yeah. I love the puffins in yours as well. I think that was
a
lovely touch, and yeah. So, are these cliffs similar to where you walk, Martin? And
well, no, it's basically based on a place I've never been to. It's a place called St Kilda, and it's the most western sort of archipelago of islands in the British Isles.
Yeah.
And they're actually they were lived in for sort of thousands of years up until about 1930. And the cliffs, it's the highest cliffs in the UK, in actual fact.
Gosh.
And and the story is that the young men of St Kilda actually harvested the birds and birds' eggs from the cliffs, and that was basically their main diet during the summer months. So it's a place I've never been to, but it's a place a lot of people in Scotland sort of strive to go to. So that's what was the inspiration when I looked at your picture.
Yeah. Oh wow, thank you. And I guess when they were harvesting the eggs and the birds and that, it was, for survival, and they took what they needed, and that was it, I guess.
Absolutely, so, yes, that's right.
Kept it in balance, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, yes, it was in the summer. That was basically what they lived on. So yes, it wasn't a case of kill for no reason, I suppose.
Yes, yeah. Anne said she loved both poems. Thanks very much, Anne, for both of us.
Thank you.
It's lovely.
Thanks, Anne.
So, yeah, I've never been up that way myself either, and in fact, the painting's based on the Atlantic coast of Ireland. So,
nice.
Very similar, I think.
Yes,
very similar
yes.
landscape there. It's not exactly the same. If you went there, you wouldn't see exactly the same view, but that was my inspiration for it, and it's the same sort of hard dark rocks, igneous, I guess, and just resisting. But even something that hard and that old, just over time, just gets worn away by the force of the water. And
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we think they're going to be there forever, but they're an imperceptible change in our lifetimes with the hard rocks. I mean, not like the chalk cliffs of the southern England, coastline.
Yeah, that's right.
They are still changing over time, even such hard, imposing cliffs, aren't they? So,
yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, I don't know what sort of time span caused the stacks, but you're right, they would have been formed of part of that cliff. And going on, there'll be more stacks as the wind and weather eats into the landscape. That's quite interesting.
Old ones fall, get weathered away, and new ones form.
Yeah, that's right.
Chiseled out by the water from the main cliff.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But I've been to the west of Ireland, and I can't remember the names of the cliffs, but it's probably the highest cliffs in Ireland, and it's very reminiscent to that painting, right enough. It's looking over that sheer drop down to the water, seems like miles down. But
I'm not particularly good with heights, I must admit. So going near the edge of a cliff is not good for me. But
you get worse as you get older as well, I think.
I think it's because you realise what could happen if you actually get near the edge, and it could collapse. And so, Chris says, great reference to St Kilda, Martin. And
thank you.
And Anne has asked, do I paint while I'm at the scene, or from memory, or photos? And said I choose some beautiful places. Thank you. That's lovely. I like to paint at the scene whenever I can. But for this one, this was a studio painting because it's a fair size, 60 by 60 centimeters. And certainly on a cliff top, any breeze that gets up could either be out at sea or way back inland quite quickly. But so I normally paint normally only up to about 10 by 12. I have done a bit bigger outdoors, but I tend to paint smaller studies or do sketches and take photographs for the larger works, which I do back in the studio here. So yeah, but there's an energy that you seem to get when you're working outdoors. It seems to flow through into the sketches or paintings. And it is just trying to, when I work in the studio, it's trying to recreate in my head that feeling of how it was to be there, the sun on my back, the a breeze on my face, the scents and the sounds as well, whether it's the seabirds crying or the wind in trees, the smells of the salty air, or forest leaf mold smells, whatever. So I try to go back to all of those sensations so that I can hopefully get that into the painting as well, which we need smell-o-vision on paintings. I think, well, sometimes that wouldn't be a good idea, some of the places that paint, but yeah, get the smell of the ozone and the salt air. That would be fantastic if you could do that with a painting, but don't know if anyone's thinking of inventing something like that, but don't think we've got it at the moment. But interestingly, some people have put sound with their paintings, either with a tape that plays, or you can get these little sound boxes for stuffed toys and things, and you can record some sounds on that, and it could be put behind the canvas with a, just press here for the sound maybe. It's an intriguing idea that I thought about, but I suppose you get enough people pressing it, you wear a hole in the canvas eventually. So
that's
maybe
right.
not such a good idea. Have to be on the frame. Put it on the frame, yeah.
I think it's quite nice that you can look at an image like that and sort of immerse yourself in it, and from that, I think you can get a sense of smell and sense of place and sense of the heat of the day. If you look at it carefully, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I try to get that, say, into my paintings, because what I'd like people to be able to do when they see the painting is to almost feel like they can walk into it and be in that landscape and basically chill out, relax, get some calm into their lives by just imagining that they're in that landscape. Because, I think we all could do with a bit of calm at times these days, and all the strange things going on in the world. So I'm just so pleased that you feel, that's what you can do with my work, which is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a wee bit of escapism.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's so important for people as well, to have that, either whether it's, even if it's watching TV or reading or looking at artwork or reading poetry, listening to music, it's important to have that sort of place where you can escape and just, have a bit of downtime, I think, as well.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, because you do a lot of walking, don't you, Martin, as well?
Yes,
which must be, one of your ways of having downtime, I should think.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. I walk with friends mostly, but sometimes walk myself, and it's a good to get out and just get away from work and away from sort of normal life, and just be out sort of in the wilds, I suppose, and just enjoy the fresh air and the quiet and whatever. But,
fantastic. And are you an all-weather walker or
well, I do prefer fair weather, I have to say, but I will go out. I will go out in bad weather, but as you get older, you get softer, I think, and you choose your days more.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's cold as long as it's dry. I think that when you get wet and everything gets soaking, it's not so much fun. But
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I do like the cold. I like the crispy blue sky and frost or snow. But the wind and rain's not as attractive.
No,
but you sometimes have to do it. Just you can miss days if you only go out on good days. You will miss days where all of a sudden the weather clears and you get great atmosphere.
Absolutely, and I think if you get a day where the sun suddenly comes out and it's been wet, the colours seem so much more intense, don't they?
That's right.
Everything's sparkling and bright and freshly washed. It's just lovely.
That's right.
And I think if our poetry and paintings can try and help people to appreciate that and help to get people on board with protecting the environment and using less plastic or whatever small measures each of us can take, then it's got to be a good thing, you know. And
yes, aye, that's right.
try and get everyone on board that we can. So otherwise, I find it quite scary, the number of houses that are being built on green land, and just, you know, it's going to take longer and longer to drive from where you live to find any.
I know,
places
that's right.
Yeah.
The wild places are shrinking, which is quite sad. But
yeah, it's very sad, and the animals as well. You know, obviously their habitats are shrinking.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know, we need to be very careful about that. So, yeah, the little bits that we can do to help are, you know, every little helps, as
that's right.
one
That's
particular
right.
supermarket says.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, but things like, you know, we with the weather, like you were saying, it can change. Even with Kingston, you know, it can start off one way and the weather can change during the day to be completely different. So
I know.
we're quite wary about cancelling an exhibition there, because it is completely outside, completely outdoors, no shelter at all.
Yeah.
So strong winds, that would
Wouldn't
make
be
us
good.
cancel, because it gets a bit dangerous. But like Saturday, it was forecast to be showery, and we thought, well, we'll still do it. And we were lucky; we only had a couple of showers, as I say, and we cover over with plastic sheets. And I actually had one girl come back to look at a painting, and it was raining at the time, so I'd put the plastic sheet over the work, and she wanted so much to have another look at the painting that she was crouched down with a plastic sheet over her head, looking up at the painting. So I offered to go and hold the sheet for her so she didn't get wet from it. So, and that was just, you know, I've even sold a painting there in the rain, because some people had seen it earlier and come back and, you know, saw it again. So, you know, we try not to let rain stop play. But,
no, that's right. But it's nice to be in nice, good, fair weather.
It is, yes, yeah, and it's just, as I said earlier, it was just so lovely to be able to talk with people and, you know, interact. And being outdoors, we could keep a distance and not have to keep masks on all the time.
That's great.
You know, and to see people's smiles and,
you
know, facial expressions are so important to communication, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I hope we're not going to be going back to normal too soon, but
well,
it would be nice
to
interact with people more like that. So
that's right.
Yeah. So I guess up in the mountains you don't need to worry too much about masks and all that space.
Well, that's right. It's a wee bit easier to sort of isolate and sort of, but we still were subject to rules and we had to comply. Just for this, just fairness to everyone, I suppose. And there was difficulties travelling out. I was fortunate that where I stayed there is hills and there's plenty of variety of walks, but for some people it must have been terrible. And I was very appreciative of where I was, that I still could get some sort of wild walking, even when it was at the worst of it.
Right.
Restrictions.
Yes. Yeah, that was so fortunate for you.
I know.
You know, I do really feel for people that were, you know, maybe cooped up in a flat with no garden or anything, and just must have been terrible for them.
Oh, it must have been. I know we appreciated it where we were.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, well, hopefully things will.
Yes, that's it. We're hopefully on the way back to normal.
Yeah, hopefully we won't see too many cases coming up of increasing cases, I should say. But so be off doing more painting days out hopefully soon as well. So
good.
That'd be good. But I'll tend to be working a bit smaller for those. Oh, we've got some more comment. Oh, Rosie's just missed the poems, and she'll be listening back to it. So Yeah, Owen answered it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, it's great having some more people on this time, isn't it? So many people watch on replay because it's
that's
we've
right.
all got busy lives, but
I
it's
know,
lovely
I
having
know.
interaction.
Yeah.
Really good. So, so you've got anything apart from a secret poem? Are you going to be looking to try and get up to do some, live poetry readings anywhere, or
As
open
things
mic?
open, I'd love to do that. As things open out and venues for, sort of poetry speaking sort of come back, I think I will make an effort to try and sort of get out and do some spoken word. It's, I think the way things are going, it looks as if in the near future we might get that opportunity. So I'll need to get the sort of feelers out and find places that I can go and read my work, which would be nice.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a rare treat for the people that are listening, from what I've heard of it. I love your work.
Well, thank you.
Really good. Love it. So, so I guess better start winding up so we don't go on for too long. But it's been absolutely great having you on the show again, Martin. Really enjoyed it. And your poem, just excellent. So thank you so much for writing such a beautiful poem about one of my paintings. I feel like that's a real honour.
It's my pleasure.
And I've got the added bonus of, hopefully, because you've agreed before, but that I can have that beautiful poem in the book project that I'm doing as well. So really looking forward to that. And I hope that you'll be coming back again very soon to join me for another session with another poem.
That'd be great. That would be great. I'll have to have a look and find another painting to inspire.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Well, hopefully you'll find one anyway.
I'm sure I will.
Good. So next week I will be back with another fabulous poem coming to join me. Oh, and Anne's just put another. Oh, thank you, Anne. She says she loves my painting and wishes she was there right now. Well, yeah, I'll go along with that one. That would be lovely to be there, especially on a day like that with a calm sea and everything. It'd be amazing. So, yes, I'll have another poet with me again next week for more talk about poetry and painting. So hopefully you'll all be able to come back again at 7:00 UK time on Facebook for next edition. And if you do want to sign up for my VIP mailing list to get my newsletter with new paintings and invitations to events, then it's at www.fionahooper.com. So stay safe, everybody. Have a good week. And I hope we'll see you all next Wednesday for another Poetry of Painting session. So bye from now from Martin and myself. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye now. Bye.
Bye.